guys, so long time no see. I apologize for the long hiatus. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I posted the other day just kind of briefly talking about why I've been gone so long. Unfortunately, I had a house guest come and stay with us for a little bit longer than I had anticipated, so if I had realized, I would have warned you in my last video that I was going to be gone for that long, but I was under the assumption they weren't staying as long as they were, and so they were staying in our spare bedroom, which is this bedroom, and I felt a little awkward trying to film videos around them. I felt like that just wasn't really kosher for me to be like invading on their space and stuff, and there's really nowhere else in my condo that is adequate enough to film. And so before we even get started, I will let you say hi to Linus. He's being a little butt-faced today. He's getting so stinking big, it's just ridiculous. Like, him and Poe are like the same size at this point. So yeah, I apologize for being gone for so long, but that is what had happened, and unfortunately that is just the way I feel like the world works for me. It's like, oh, you think you're caught up on videos? No, you're not. So I apologize for those that like short videos. I'm gonna try and keep this kind of short, but I do have a couple weeks worth of manicures that we're gonna talk about, so this might run a little bit long, and the next couple weekly manis / monthly manis might be a little bit long. This is probably, I think, like end of January, beginning of February, I want to say. Also, I did dye my hair. It has faded a little bit, but it's like a little bit, it's probably faded quite a bit at this point. But yeah, I also dyed my hair since the last time you saw me. So let's go ahead and jump in. I hope you guys are doing well. I do apologize. It is also daylight savings time, which is great. So now I can film in the evenings, which is what time we're filming right now, so that will help me, I think, get some videos out a little bit more quickly than in the winter time when I'm forced to only film on the weekends. So let's go ahead and jump in. I do apologize. I'm gonna try and look through some of these manicures real quick because there's a whole lot of polishes and I'm hoping I remember a little bit about them. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so first up for this video is going to be a polish from Circa Colors. This is called Hygge, and Hygge I feel like is coming up a little bit bluer on the camera than I would like it to be. I wore this last year around the same time, I want to say. This is a very pretty like icy pale blue with a kind of like goldish, it's got a little bit of a red hue to it, but it doesn't come up as like reddish coppery as some other Cirque polishes that I have in my collection that have similar finishes. This also has a slight scattered hollow that runs through it. This is pretty. I really liked this last year. Second time around, I wasn't as crazy about it. For some reason, I felt like the shimmer on this stood out a little bit more last year than it did this time. I don't think I got a swatch of this when I wore it this time around, so the swatch I'm showing you is from last year. But for some reason the shimmer I just feel like didn't stand out as much, and that could be because I've worn a lot of other polishes since then, and maybe I've gotten used to polishes having a little bit stronger shimmer, but I think this is still pretty. It's still fairly unique to my collection. I don't really carry a lot of like pale blues, so I will keep this around. I just, for some reason, I wasn't as crazy about it. Maybe I wore it. No, I feel like this is the time, I feel like January would have been the time of year that I wear kind of these icy blues, but I don't know, just wasn't as crazy about it this time, but it is a really pretty polish. So that again is Hygge from Circa Colors. And next up is one of the couple of the polishes. Not couple of the polishes. I picked up a couple polishes from the Zoya, I'm forgetting, not Element. What was the winter collection? I don't remember what the winter collection was called, and it's slipping my mind, but I picked up a couple from the Zoya winter collection. This one is one of the two pixie dust that came out. This one is called Cookie. Cookie is a like medium kind of like yeah, just like a medium purple, I'd say. Nothing crazy, like a grape purple. It has a really pretty gold shimmer that runs throughout, and I really like this. I was a little hesitant about it when I swatched it, but I think that's just because when I swatch pixie dusts, I don't let them dry fully, so the glitter doesn't stand out as much on the nail as it does when it dries. So this time around when I wore it as a manicure and I let it dry completely, I really enjoyed it. I think the gold shimmer stood out really nice, and that is one of the top things I'm looking for when it comes to pixie dust is when they dry down, I really want to see some shimmer and some glimmer, because I just find them to be very flat on the nail if they don't have a little bit of something to them. So this ended up being really, really nice formula from Zoya. Very much liked this one. So that again is Cookie from Zoya. Next up is a tonic polish that I picked up kind of on a whim. It was just like a random restock day and I was picking up some other polishes and I was just kind of browsing around what else was available, and this one popped up. And I haven't heard very many people talk about this polish, but I thought it looked really, really pretty, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And this one is called Alexandria's Genesis, and this is basically like a sister polish to Light of Lyra. I'm assuming they probably came out in the same collection because they have like similar kind of like mythology type names, but I wasn't really collecting as heavily. This, I think both, if I'm assuming correctly, I think this Light of Lyra came out like 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm betting this probably came out with it. So I wasn't collecting as much back then, so I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure these probably came out in the same collection. So yeah, this is basically kind of a sister polish to Light of Lyra. This is more of a pinker version, whereas Light of Lyra is a little bit more of like a lavendery kind of purple. If you want to see these compared up against each other, check my Instagram page. I did post that back when I wore this polish, I believe. And this one, like I said, it's kind of similar to Light of Lyra, except it's more of like a, lilac is more pink? It's more of like a pinky purple, but it leans way more pink than it does purple. So I want to say that's more of like a lilac color. And this also has a shimmer in it. It's not, the shimmer on this and Light of Lyra are slightly different, but they give off kind of a similar feel when you get them on the nail. I want to say, like, I don't have that picture. Do I have that? Let me look at my Instagram page real quick. I'm pretty sure the shimmers were like slightly different. Yeah, the shimmers on these are slightly different. The one in Light of Lyra is more of like a teal shimmer, whereas this one is a little bit more of a blue. And let me see if I can get that to focus. There you go. So it's coming up a little bit more. If I had Light of Lyra in here, you could see that, but I double check my Instagram if you're interested. I think you can justify having both of them in your collection. I think they are different enough. If you like these sorts of polishes, I thought this was gorgeous, very glowy on the nail, similar to Light of Lyra. So really happy I picked this one up. So that again is Alexandria's Genesis from Tonic Polish. And next up is a polish I picked up probably like a year or two ago. This one's from Cupcake Polish, and this one is called Keeping It Real. I picked up this one and another one from like the camping. It was like a camping themed collection. And I really liked the one that I picked up in addition to this one. I want to say, was it Reel It In? I can't remember. It was like a pink polish. I feel like Reel It In might have been it, but I can't remember now. But this one's called Keeping It Real. And this is kind of a like, it's kind of a teal, but it leans a little bit more green. And as per usual with me, what really sold me is that pink shimmer that you can see there. Don't know why, I just never got around to wearing this polish when I bought it a couple years ago. I guess it's just because greens are a little bit difficult for me. I just don't gravitate towards them as much as I would like. So I did see this sitting on my rack and I was like, I should probably wear this. And I did like it. Wasn't overly crazy about it. It's one of those polishes where the base is just a little too dark for me, and for somebody that likes a really strong shimmer, I just didn't love that it took me certain lightnings to really see that pink flash, which I thought was kind of surprising because in the bottle here it just looks crazy. You know, it just stands out really well in the bottle, but for some reason on the nail it just didn't stand out as much as I would have liked. So I was a little underwhelmed with this polish. So that again is Cupcake Polish, Keeping It Real. And then next up, I want to say this was probably the start to February, and as I did last February, I decided to challenge myself and wear pinks pretty much. Yeah, I pretty much wore pinks all the way up until Valentine's Day. I challenged myself as I did last year. I just don't wear a whole lot of pinks throughout the year, and so to really justify having a bunch of pinks in my collection, I try to do this, and I feel like I did enjoy it. I get a little bit tired of wearing pinks about the end of about towards the end where Valentine's Day shows up. But I did like it. I thought it's a good way for me, like I said, to get some use out of my pinks. Kendra joined me as well as some other ladies on Instagram. So thanks everybody for joining. I really loved seeing everybody's manicures, and for everyone that joined in, I thought that was super cool. So first up from those pinks is Marianne, and this came out in the Element Collection, yes, Element Collection, the fall collection this year from Zoya. This was one of two. I think I was a little bit, I was a little upset with myself in the video that I filmed for that, the thoughts and comparison video that it was the last video I put up before I went on hiatus. I called these more like frosty. This one and Rumor were the two polishes that had similar finishes. In that video, I called them more of like frosty pearlescent finishes, but after I wore this one on the nail, I feel like these are actually more metallic than they are pearlescent. I haven't worn Rumor yet as a manicure, but I feel like it has a similar finish. So these are actually a lot more metallic, like I said, and I really actually enjoyed this. I know Rumor's been has been more of the more popular shade out of these two, but I actually really liked Marianne. I do tend to gravitate towards like these like more muted, kind of warmer pinks, and so Marianne definitely fits the bill on that. So it's very, very pretty, and like I said, it's got more of a metallic finish on it, and so it just was really, really nice on the nail. It's an interesting combination. You don't see a lot of pink metallics, so I actually really ended up enjoying this. I thought it was very, very pretty. So that again, kind of a surprise hit. I feel like I don't remember liking this as much when I swatched it, so when I actually wore it as a manicure, I was pleasantly surprised. So that again is Marianne from Zoya. And let me make sure I did not stamp with that polish, because no, I did not. Okay. Sometimes I forget, it's been so long I forget if I stamped over a polish. All right, next up is going to be a pixie dust. I picked this up a couple months ago when Zoya did a pixie dust sale, and this one is called Miranda. And Miranda is kind of similar in color to Marianne here. It's a little bit of a warmer, got a little bit more red to it, but it has kind of a similar feel. So Miranda is, like I said, it's just kind of that like warm, kind of reddish pinky colors. It kind of like I feel like watermelon's a little bit more red. I'm not sure what exact color I want to say, but it's like a warmer kind of medium pink. And this one has a very pretty silver shimmer that runs throughout. It is very apparent on the nail. Is that oh no, I'm sorry, it's not silver. That is a like light pink glitter. Shimmer glitter, whatever. It's actually a lighter pink. So I was a little hesitant on this one again, because like I said, I like shimmers that stand out really well once they dry down. And since this one is similar in color to the base, I was a little worried this was gonna end up a little flat on the nail, but it actually dried down very, very nice glitter kind of shimmer that showed up once it dried matte. So very much enjoyed this one. So that again is Miranda. And then getting into some baby pinks. I have a really hard time with baby pinks, but this one, I feel like, I don't think I wore this one last year, so I decided to bust it out this year. This is Jordan from Zoya. This is, like I said, it's a baby pink. The formula is not great, you know, by Zoya standards, but for baby pinks, I mean, baby pinks are very hard formulas to kind of master, so as far as baby pinks go, I think this formula is pretty good, but as far as Zoya is concerned, it's not the greatest formula. It did take, I want to say, like three-ish coats, and it's still a little kind of streaky, and if you over manipulate it too much, you get some like bald patches, and so it's not crazy awesome, but for baby pinks, you know, you can't expect too much from them. So yeah, so this one is Jordan. And I did do some stamping over this. It didn't turn out, I did some double stamping, and it was a little bit faint on the nail. I think I used, I don't remember the exact polishes, but I don't think I used stamping polishes on this particular manicure. So they did show up, but it was a little bit faint. So it didn't turn out as well as I would have liked, but it was nice, a nice little like delicate kind of stamp look. So that again is Jordan from Zoya. And next up is going to be Socialite from Circa Colors. Don't think I wore this last year, and this is a really pretty kind of like in the middle, kind of purpley pink. It definitely rides the line. For me, it definitely looks a little bit more pink on the nail than it does purple, but it does kind of sit in the middle. Just to compare, I don't want to show you a polish I already wore, but Now that makes it look a little bit pink, but it's kind of a shapeshifter, whereas like you look at it in the bottle and you're like, oh, that's pink. But when you get it on the nail, it does have a little bit of a purple feel to it. So that again is Socialite. I did do some stamping over this. This is a polish I picked up on a whim. I don't know why I picked this up because I don't really care for toppers, but I was watching a review video from Phoebe and she was reviewing this Superchic lacquer. I forget the name of the polish collection, but it was like a themed collection of scented toppers, and they're all kind of just like these flakies. And I want to say it was like carnival themed, but I could be wrong. But for some reason, this one like really caught my eye. And so this one is called Don't Eat the Cotton Candy. And it's a cotton candy scented, although I don't know if cotton candy, it's scented, but I don't know if cotton candy is the smell that I would pick out from that. But it is a scented topper. It is a clear, the base is, I know it's coming up a little bit blue here, and it might be slightly blue tinted, but on the nail, nah, I don't think I think it's a clear base. So it's a clear base with, let me look at it real quick before I put it up there. So it's a clear base with a bunch of flakies, and the flakies are slightly duochromy. They come up like an aqua blue and like a green. And then there's also some like red to purple multi-chrome, duochrome glitter flakies in here. And then it also has a pink shimmer that is very, very like, finely milled like reddish glitter. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick all of that up from this video because it's got a lot going on, but there's that, there's the shimmer you can kind of see there. So I don't know why this caught my eye. Like I said, I just don't wear toppers very often, but something about this polish just like called my name. And so I bought it. Like I said, don't know why, it just kind of caught my eye. And I decided to put this over a couple of my accent nails on this Socialite manicure. I'm not super crazy about the, what's the word, application on this. I really want the, I really wanted this to be more, what's the word? I wanted it to be a little bit more dense of a like coverage on the coats that I did. I think I did maybe 1 or 2 coats, and it just, it's too like in the middle. So with a topper, it's like I either want it to be like maybe just like a couple, I don't know, something about it, it's hard to describe. It wasn't like, it was too much to be like a light showering on it as a topper, but it was like not enough to fully cover the nail. So it was like this weird in the middle, like kind of full coverage, like kind of covered the nail entirely, but there was like some bald patches, but I didn't want to do like 4 coats of it. So I wasn't super crazy about this, and I don't know if I like it or not. I feel like you could probably get this fully opaque on its own, and I don't know if I swatched it like that when I initially swatched these. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try it as like a full manicure and see if I like it better, but as a topper, I wasn't super crazy about it. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. It's just, when it comes to toppers, like I said, I'm not really a topper person, but I either want it to be like just a light showering of polish to where you, or a light shower of whatever, you know, glitter or whatever's in it, so that you can still see the base color. But so I either like it very light or I like it very like dense, and I want it to like fully cover the nail. So it's like in this weird in the middle kind of spot where it's like, it's not light enough, but it's not full coverage enough. I hope that makes sense. But anywho, that's a very long explanation. So that again is Don't Eat the Cotton Candy from Superchic Lacquer. Next up is a polish for days that I got in a polish pickup quite a while ago and hadn't worn yet. This one's called Animalese. And Animalese it's kind of a lavender purple, again with like those crazy flakies that Polish for Days does, and it also has that reddish shimmer in there. It's pretty. I'm not super crazy about it. I feel like I have gotten a lot of Polish for Days in the last like year or so, and I feel like a lot of them are kind of look the same. Like, even though they're kind of pink, like this one, Unicorn, Ember, I just feel like I got a whole bunch of these to where they're just like slightly different, but not enough to be like unique in my collection. So I think eventually here I'm gonna have to like weed out some of these in my collection, because I feel like they're just not unique enough to keep all of them. So I did just notice as I was moving this around that this does have a duochrome shimmer. So in the video here, as you're seeing, it's got a pink kind of coppery looking look to it. But as I pulled it away, I noticed it does have kind of a like goldish green. If you're familiar with like duochromes, how it goes to that like goldish greenish look. I don't recall seeing that on the nail, but I just thought I would mention it. So it's pretty. I just, like I said, I have other ones in my collection that I feel like eventually I need to pull them all out and swatch them together and decide which one I like more than the other ones, because they just all kind of look the same to me. So that again is Animalese from Polished for Days. Next up is a polish from the Circa Colors Facets collection that I picked up a couple months ago and you would have seen in a haul. This one is called Rose Quartz, and Rose Quartz is a very, very pale, like blush colored pink with a crazy amount of scattered hollow in there. If you had watched that haul video, I would have mentioned that I wasn't totally crazy about this collection. The formulas were quite thin, and that might be because, you know, they've got quite a bit of scattered hollow in there, so maybe they made them thin in order for you to get all of that hollow on the nail like when it's dry. So maybe there's a reason why it's very thin, but initially swatching them, I wasn't crazy about the thinness on them. So this one is definitely like, it's definitely the lightest out of the bunch, and it was definitely God, I want to say this was almost like 3 or 4 coats to be opaque. So it was enough to be obnoxious. If you don't have visible nail line, you could probably get away with maybe 2 or 3 coats. But for me, I had quite a bit of visible nail line. So even at, I don't think I did 4 coats because I think 4 coats is obnoxious. So I must have done only 3. And at 3 coats, I feel like you can get away with it, but it's definitely not full coverage. I feel like in certain lightings, you could probably have seen, you probably would have seen my visible nail line. And I figured I would have hated it. I didn't love it when I swatched it initially, so I figured I wasn't going to like it, but I always like to wear polishes once before I make a determination on whether or not I'm going to destash them. So I figured I would give this one a shot. It was pink. It was around Valentine's Day. I was challenging myself. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and wear this. And I had very low expectations for this polish. I figured I was not going to care for it. And even though it took 3 coats to be opaque, and even though it wasn't completely opaque, so it took 3 coats to be opaque, I guess I should have said. I actually liked it. Something about it was just very delicate and almost like mannequin hands kind of, but it had that little bit of hollow, so it gave it like a little bit something extra. I was actually really pleasantly surprised with this, and maybe eventually when it thickens up over time, it will be more opaque, but I actually really liked this more. I was pleasantly surprised that I liked this. This might not be everybody's cup of tea. I could see some people hating this polish, but for some reason I really enjoyed the just kind of like delicate nature of this polish. So it definitely kind of a surprise hit. So that again is Rose Quartz from Circa Colors. Next up is another one from the Zoya Element collection. This one is called Donnie. Donnie is one of those like weird kind of like reddish purpley kind of like winey colors. I did do a stamp over this, which I thought turned out phenomenal. It was a like chocolate hearts kind of stamp. Turned out really pretty. Donnie's a really nice formula, 2 coats, no complaints. I did like this polish, but I have problems with this particular color. I feel like I always think that I like these polishes, and so I pick up a bunch of them. I've got this one, I've got Regan, I've got, you know, a plethora of polishes in my collection that are similar in color to this, and I always like assume that I like them, and I do like them when I get them on the nail. I'm like, oh, this is pretty, but I'm never like overly excited about them, and I find myself having to like force myself to wear them. So like, this isn't technically pink, but since it had kind of a pink quality to it, and I feel like these polish colors just sit on my polish rack, I kind of forced myself to wear it. And I did like it. It's just something about this color just does not, it doesn't spark joy. It doesn't Marie Kondo me, and you know, like it just doesn't spark joy in my life. So, but I feel like if I got rid of them all, there would be a hole in my collection. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship with these polish color, like with this polish color. Is it, and this is like what, like a winey kind of like, this is like a wine, I feel like wine's darker, more of a red. I don't really know what this like medium purpley pink color is, but I feel like I struggle with them. So like I said, I did like this polish on the manicure was nice, but It's nothing to write home about. I wasn't overly crazy about it. The only thing I really was really excited about was the stamp on it, I think. So, but if you like these sort of colors, I think you're gonna like this one. It's really nice. So that is Donnie from Zoya. Next up is a very popular Super Chic lacquer that I have kind of had on my like lemming list for a while, but it's always out of stock when I look on the website. And so finally I was just kind of like, I was on there doing something. I think there was a sale maybe, and it just happened to be on there, so I thought I would grab it. It is Realm of Erotica. I feel like you guys have probably heard about this polish a million times, but Realm of Erotica is, it comes off a little bit more of a pinky red, even though in the bottle it's looking a little bit more red. This comes up a little bit kind of just like a pinky red linear hollow. It is super pretty. My only complaint is that I wore this on a day when it wasn't super sunny out, so I did not get to enjoy the linear hollow as much as I would have liked, but it actually is very, very pretty. This is one of my, besides that other one, this is actually my first or second, I can't remember. I feel like I got this one second. So this is I don't have very many Super Chic lacquers in my collection. So I did like this. My only complaint is I don't really know why these are so expensive. Are these from Australia? I don't think they're from Australia. I think this is a US brand. I don't really know why these are $14 or $15. I think I only bought this because it was on sale. I think she was having like a discount. I mean, it's pretty, it's a nice formula, but I feel like you can get linear hollows from other places that have similar quality finishes to them. I don't know. What do you guys think of Super Chic lacquer? It's hard for me. I mean, I buy indies. Usually I don't have a problem, but $15 is kind of pushing it for me when it comes to indie polishes. So I wasn't like, it's really pretty. I'm glad to have it in my collection, but for $15, I was just kind of like, it's nice, but I feel like Color Club can probably make something similar to this, or, you know, somebody that makes them a little bit cheaper. So, I don't know if I will buy a whole lot of Super Chic lacquers. It's kind of similar to picture polish. If I can pick them up when they're on sale, I might get them, but I'm not going to be like seeking them out that much, I guess. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyway, that is Super Chic lacquer, Realm of Erotica. We are almost done. I've got 3 more polishes to talk about. This one is Tobey from Zoya. It is a very like, I hate to say neon, but it's basically like a basically like a bubblegum pink, but like on crack. Although this is it up against Jordan, so maybe not. Maybe it's more of like a cross between a milky baby pink and a Barbie pink. So I wore this, I think I got this like a year or so ago, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with Barbie pinks. To me, I'm always kind of like, baby pinks and Barbie pinks are probably the hardest ones for me to wear. And so I had always eyed this one because I just thought it was very bright and interesting looking, but you know, for me, it's like, it's a pink, you're probably not gonna wear it, it's just gonna sit on your, you know, it's just gonna sit on your rack. But I finally bit the bullet and bought it, and I actually really liked it when I wore it last year. This year, it was okay. I wasn't as crazy about it as I was last year, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the time of year, maybe it's because I feel like the stamp I did over it wasn't like, it didn't turn out as well as I would have liked either, so that could have had something to do with it, but I do like this polish, just wasn't crazy about it this time around. So that again is Tobey from Zoya. Next up is a Cert polish I picked up a couple months ago. This one's called Jane on Jane Street. And this one is a like dusty, it's a dusty pink with like a slight bit of purple in it. It's very interesting, and it was very, very pretty on the nails. I'm very glad I picked this up. Only complaint about this manicure is I did decide to put a topper over it, and this I picked up along with its silver kind of sister polish or sister topper. This is from the brand Pahlish, and this is called Goldsmith. I was talking to some folks on Instagram because somebody, I want to say V from your girl V, hi, she had posted a picture of somebody, was it OPI? It was some brand, mainstream, I want to say. It was their kind of like 24 karat topper that had come out, and she had worn it over a polish and posted it on Instagram. And I was drooling over it, and I said, man, I wish I had been collecting polish back in the day when all those polish brands released their kind of 24 karat gold flaky toppers, because I didn't get a chance to get one. And so somebody, I think in the comments, mentioned that Pahlish had just released some, and I was like, oh, awesome. So I run over to Pahlish and I looked, and they had this one, Goldsmith, and then they also had a silver one, which I can't think of the name of at the moment, and it's in my bathroom. So I went ahead and grabbed them, and I was really excited about them. So it is basically, it's a gold flaky topper, so definitely fits the bill. My only complaint is it's actually a little too dense for me. So again, with toppers, it's kind of in the middle. It's in the middle. So when it comes to these like 24 karat or these 24 karat gold toppers, I want them to be not as dense, because I feel like with this one, it was too dense, so you didn't really get the flaky kind of like, the flaky look. It just ended up being like, I don't know. I wasn't crazy about how much, like I wish it was a little bit less flaky in it. Does that make sense? Like it was a little bit too overpowering on the base coat, and it didn't look as flaky looking as I would have liked. I hope that makes sense. I don't wear toppers a lot, so I might just be sounding like a moron, but I almost want this to be a little less flaky when I wear it. So for people that wear toppers, can I put some thinner in this, or maybe can I put some like base in it or something and make it so that I get less flakies on the brush when I apply it? Is that a thing? I don't know. But yeah, I wanted it to be a little bit more sparse on the nails, so it had more of a flaky appearance, and instead it just came off like a little bit too, opaque's not the right word, but it just came off a little bit more, there was a little bit more flaky on the nail than I would have liked. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm not super crazy about this. I don't know how I feel about it. The silver sister polish to this is kind of similar. So guys, let me know if you wear toppers, if any of that rambling made sense to you. Like, how can I make it so I don't get as much flaky on the brush? Like, even if I try to like brush it off, I feel like it's not going, like I feel like it just needs more base to flaky. I don't know. That's okay. Anyway, this video is getting way too long.
Hi, P. Oh, look who's here. This is P. Hi, P. Who never comes to say hi? He never comes and says hi. Hi, P.
I'm sure you guys can't tell the difference between the two, but Poe has a different coat than Linus does. Their coats are, that's really the only thing that's helping me tell the difference between them right now, is that,
oh, he's purring. I love you.
Oh, I love you so much. Okay, you can go now. All right, sorry, last polish is a Coloristic Carol. Sorry, I had to adjust this camera, so it's probably all jacked up now. Because God forbid I get through a video without the memory card getting full. So the very last polish that we're going to talk about, I feel like that was the end of Valentine's Day. I feel like this was the start of maybe like the next week. So this one is Coloristic Carol. This is called Baby's First Sled. And I want to say this is my first tri-thermal. I've gotten some other ones since then, but I feel like this might have been the first one. And this is a very pretty kind of like medium, like ultraviolet kind of purple, and or like not ultra purple, God, I'm losing my words now. Not ultra purple. Why can't I don't, anyway. Anywho, it's basically like a purple to, so it's this like warm, ultra purple. Sorry guys, my lighting's starting to go. It's getting a little bit later than I would have liked. So it's this kind of like warmish, kind of like ultraviolet purple, and then the tri-thermal goes from a clear, and then the middle color is this kind of like blurply, kind of like slightly bluish color purple. So it was very, very pretty. I am loving the like clear to color thermals, and so this, gorgeous. This also has some flakies as well as a like scattered hollow in there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to catch it because the lighting's starting to go, but this was so pretty. I have decent enough nail line to where I was able to get all three colors to show up on the nail. Loved this so much. I don't think she had any other, I don't think the other ones in this collection were a tri-thermal, but definitely very, very, very pretty. So happy I got a chance to pick this one up. So that again is Baby's First Sled from Colors de Carol. And that's all that we're gonna do for this week. I definitely have a few more, but we're already at 30 minutes, so I'm trying not to make this terribly long. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful couple months. Let me know what you guys wore the last couple of weeks. What have you been doing for St. Patrick's Day? I know I had high hopes of like doing some greens. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something similar to Valentine's Day. I will wear greens up through St. Patrick's Day. But then I realized that St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th, and that's like half of March. And I also realized I don't have a whole lot of greens in my collection, or I don't have a lot of like St. Patrick's Day greens. So I don't know if I want to fix that, because like I said, I don't gravitate towards greens, but I feel like there's definitely like a hole in my collection. I just don't grab those like 4-leaf clover type green colors, so I feel like I'm missing some. So part of me kind of wants to buy them so I have a full collection of colors, but I'm also kind of like, you're never gonna wear them. But I do have a Pahlish that I'm really excited about wearing on St. Patrick's Day. What is today? What day is St. Patrick's Day? Is that on a weekend? Do I have to wear it tomorrow? Where's my calendar? Oh, the 17th's on Sunday. Pooh, that means I'm gonna have to wear it tomorrow, because I just don't wear Pahlishes on the weekends. So I think I'm gonna probably wear that tomorrow and replace this tonight. So good thing I thought about that. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing for St. Patrick's Day. What have you guys, are you guys doing greens all month? Are you doing it just on St. Patrick's Day? Do you care that it's St. Patrick's Day? Let me know what your thoughts are. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.